pulled over on in, they got moved, went way over it, and just kept going. There was speeding.
Good evening. I'd like to call to order meeting of the Cortland City Council. Today is Monday, December 15th, 2025. I invite everyone to stand for the Pledge of Allegiance and remain standing for a brief prayer. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Dear Heavenly Father, we thank you for the privilege and the opportunity to serve you and to serve the city. We ask for your wisdom and guidance on the decisions before us this evening. We ask this in your name. Amen. We're on to, can I have a roll call, please?
Jim Bradley.
Here.
Kathy Fleischer.
Here.
Dick McLean.
Here.
Don Moore.
Here.
John Mercuri.
Here.
Scott Rowley.
Here.
Kevin Pyros.
Here. Next, we have a motion for the approval of minutes from the December 1st, 2025 council meeting. So moved. Second. Any questions or corrections? Can I have a roll call?
Kathy Fleischer.
Yes.
Dick McLean.
Yes.
Don Moore.
Yes.
John Mercuri.
Yes.
Scott Rowley.
Yes.
Jim Bradley. Kevin Pyros.
Yes. May I have a motion for the approval of schedule of bills to be paid totaling $699,200.62.
Second.
Any questions? Can I have a roll call?
Dick McLean.
Yes.
Don Moore.
Yes.
John Mercuri.
Yes.
Scott Rowley.
Yes.
Jim Bradley.
Yes.
Kathy Fleischer.
Yes.
Kevin Pyros.
Yes. May I have a motion for the approval of the bank reconciliation ending November 30th, 2025? So moved. Any questions? One second. Two second? Second. Any questions? Okay, we'll have a roll call.
Don Moore.
Yes.
John Mercuri.
Yes.
Scott Rowley.
Yes.
Jim Bradley.
Yes.
Kathy Fleischer.
Yes.
Dick McLean.
Yes.
Kevin Pyros.
Yes. Okay, we have a couple items of old business versus ordinance O-65-25. An ordinance adopting a policy prohibiting nepotism and conflicts of interest in city employment and establishing regulations for all city officials and city employees of the city of Cortland, Ohio. This is the third and final reading submitted by Councilman Mercuri and Councilwoman Fleischer. Any motion, please?
So moved.
Second. Any questions? Rhonda, can I have a roll call?
John Mercuri.
Yes.
Scott Rowley.
Yes.
Jim Bradley.
Yes.
Kathy Fleischer.
Yes.
Dick McLean.
Yes.
Don Moore.
Yes.
Kevin Pyros.
Yes. Okay, next is ordinance O-66-25, an ordinance whereby the city of Cortland authorizes funding to Scope, Inc. for supported services for the Cortland Senior Center. This is the third and final reading submitted by the mayor. May I have a motion, please? So moved.
Second.
Any questions? Rhonda, can I have a roll call?
Scott Rowley.
Yes.
Jim Bradley.
Yes.
Kathy Fleischer.
Yes.
Dick McLean.
Yes.
Don Moore.
Yes.
John Mercuri.
Yes.
Kevin Pyros.
Yes. Okay, that concludes our old business. Next up is new business. First is Resolution R-52-25, a resolution declaring it necessary to levy a tax to support the general fund in excess of the 10 mil limitation, submitted by the mayor. May I have a motion, please?
So moved.
Second. Questions? Patty?
The levy, it is a renewal, it is not a replacement, we can't do replacements anymore after the first of the year. It is a renewal, so it's bringing in $260,000, which is what, 1.9 mils, the valuation of the city at that time. That's what this levy generated. Not an increase, it will cost the taxpayers what they're paying now, which is $41.41 per $100,000 a year.
And that's assessed value, not appraised.
Correct. Yeah, so it is not a replacement which would increase your taxes, it is just a renewal to keep us current.
Renewal from 2016.
2016, yes.
Any questions? Okay, Rhonda, can I roll call, please?
Jim Bradley.
Yes.
Kathy Fleischer.
Yes.
Dick McLean,
Yes.
Don Moore,
Yes.
John Burcheri,
Yes.
Scott Rowley,
Yes.
Kevin Pyros.
Yes.
Oh, I'm gonna withdraw resolution R 5325. You wanna talk about it? Or should,
What, the plan would be,
the plan would be, extend the current contract, we use the next year to do what we had said we were going to do at the TRC meeting on August 14th of last year, which was do a survey monkey to see, you know, what the residents wanted as far as new carts and all that, so.
yeah, I had thought about doing a similar survey that we did for the strategic plan.
Correct.
For the strategic plan, everybody said recycling was a key part of what we want for refuse. So this way, we can put all of those variations and what do the residents want? Would they want or approve of something a little bit more than what we have today at a cost, or do they want to keep the cost as it is? It's therefore going to be the residents that drive the bid package that we put out for refuse haulers to bid on. So it's going to be what you want, not what we want. So we're going to put it back in the hands of the residents to say, tell us what you want as far as the services, any add-ons, you know, what kind of recycling you want, and then we'll take that back, and that's what we'll then build a bid package that we'll put out for anybody who wants to bid on refuse, and it'll be open to anybody.
I have a question about that. What would be the timeline for that?
Go up.
And, yeah,
Okay.
name, address, and then,
My name is Kenny Stafford with Sunburst, and I was just curious what the timeline would be if you guys are gonna survey the residents and then put it back up for bid. What are we looking at?
We'll probably extend the contract through 2026 and then go out to bid. That was the intent of the
Okay.
TRC committee last year. Kathy, John, Kevin, and I, was to do that, and it didn't get done. So, so yes, that's what we'll do. We'll extend it for a year, and,
So then you're looking at 2027 possibly?
mhm.
Okay.
that gives everybody plenty of time, because I don't know how long we're gonna open the survey. It'll take me a while to build the survey. We'll probably come up with a little internal of what kind of questions we want to put on the survey. Put it out there, give it ample time, we'll probably put it out, we also did something in the paper, so it wasn't just online. So I think we sent out flyers, is that what we did with the strategic survey?
Yeah.
We put it out in flyers. So I mean, it's not gonna be just an online survey, it'll be in the Cortland News, it'll be available online, everywhere. So we don't wanna omit any one segment of population. So
Okay.
it'll be open for everybody in multiple manners. And
Okay.
then take a while to regurgitate what's put in, and then build a bid package based upon that. So I'm looking probably sometime in the first quarter, we'll have that ready to go out for the people, and then hopefully, not long after that, have the bid package. And that gives everybody plenty of time to reply back with the bid in anticipation of having, 4, 5, 6 months to prepare themselves to execute whatever they're bidding on.
Okay.
So if you want to bid with, certain carts or certain things, then if you don't have them, you'll have time to get those if that's in your bid package.
Okay. Sounds
Make
good.
sense?
Yeah, thank you very much.
If you have any questions or thoughts about the survey, get them to Kevin so we can get them into the survey.
Okay.
Kevin, a couple things. The August TRC committee meeting, that wasn't this August, this was like a year and a half ago.
Yes.
So I just want to be clear,
No.
this isn't something like, that was like a year and a half ago. So I guess I would, and Patrick's not here, I would defer to Patrick to find out if we can even extend this, because there's no provisions in the existing contract to extend this for any period of time, so, that I can recall. So I guess I feel like we're still sort of in an uncomfortable situation where we don't have a contract, and I don't know that moving this or extending this for another year when there's no provisions in the existing contract to do that is a very prudent thing to do. So I have to defer to Patrick on that, but I think there's still an issue, I guess. I feel like this should be bid sooner than later. I will say, since we're talking about it now, if we would have voted on this today, I was going to bring up that I feel like the bid opening should be a bit longer. We were gonna advertise this on December 17th and have bid openings on January 7th. And in the meeting we had last, 2 weeks ago, I think it was Republic Services mentioned in one of the discussions that typically they have a couple months to review bids. So in my mind, if we did that, I would look to have this, you know, the bid opening like mid-February or late February. So those are the two things I just want to put on the table. And number one, I think Patrick needs to be consulted on this, because I don't know how we extend a contract that has no provisions for that. And then number two, if we do end up bidding this, I think we need to give a couple months for the people, the bidders, to be able to do their due diligence and, you know, look at the entire city and the different routes and all that kind of stuff.
Right, I agree.
I don't think the amount of time that was proposed in the ordinance, or the resolution that was withdrawn was sufficient.
Yeah, because I think some of the conversation at the last meeting was, it takes a while to be able to put together a comprehensive package, if you're coming in fresh. You can't do it within a couple of weeks. It takes a while to be able to put all together statistics and build up a big package that you feel is fair.
And then the one other thing, then we got this kind of late. I don't remember, and I read it twice, I don't remember seeing anything about fall or spring cleanup in this particular one, so just another point, if we end up going down the bidding, requesting proposals, we'll check on that too.
And I don't want to rush something and miss something where we don't put in something that's key, and then we're held accountable to that, you know, less than optimal bid package.
John, I think, on that bid package that got sent out to us, just for us to review the bid package before it got withdrawn, I had to look, because I agree, you need a lot of time, especially for a new vendor, because the bid package is multiple pages, and for a new vendor, they don't have history to pull from to create their bid. I do think it did call out twice a year.
It did, on the specification page,
Yeah, it did.
if they can
It-
provide it or
it-
not.
It is in there.
Okay.
About a twice a year. It might not be spring, fall, but they call it like a twice a year, kind of like gross or lot sort of pickup. But no, I agree. I think there needs to be time to do it, and we need to go back to the current vendor to make sure that we can just extend for a year, whether that's month to month or whatever that is, and make sure they'll honor
The pricing?
the extension.
Whenever I gave you guys this information several weeks ago, they provided a 1-year extension, and they provided pricing for 5 years. So you may want to go back and review that.
In the proposal that they provided. And again, that's where I said before,
I
There's an
understand,
issue.
but I was answering
a proposal,
Jim's
not a bid.
question.
Yeah, okay.
I'd like to speak on this.
Remind me a couple of things that were said here. This is garbage. Jerry Davis. Talking about trash. Why does it have to be so difficult? Okay? And the residents here, they're here, speak up. You want your trash picked up, you want your recycling done, and you want it as cheap as possible. Am I correct?
Yep.
It doesn't need to be some elaborate cart and buggy and, I mean, you want to roll all the way up to my back door and pick it up? I mean, that's what they want. As cheap as possible, pick up my garbage, pick up my trash. We don't have to go out and do a survey and survey everybody on how you want your trash picked up. How much do you wanna pay for it? I want to pay as minimum amount as possible. Period. Pick it up. No more. The contract's now, what, 5 months expired? With Republic? 4 months expired? I don't think you can take and do an extension on a contract that doesn't exist. You are in fact awarding another contract without going out to bid. The current contract is expired, which means now you have to go out to bid. The proposal they gave you was a proposal. It wasn't a bidded proposal, it wasn't a bidded contract, it wasn't anything. It was a proposal that was done singularly with one vendor and nobody else. Nobody else had the chance to do anything with it. It was an inside negotiation with one vendor. And again, I don't have any problem with Republic Service, but there's a right way to do things and there's a wrong way to do things. And we're 4 months expired. This should have been done a long time ago. Okay? A bid package is real easy. We want our trash picked up. Here's all the streets. Here's the mileage. How many bags are we going to get? And we want recycling done. Cheap as possible.
The bid
Why are you
package
making it
is
a...
45 pages long, Jerry.
Why is it 45 pages long?
Because we have to include all kinds of legal documentation.
Okay, have we gone out to bid before?
We have.
Okay, then we already have it. We spent an hour at the last meeting talking about carts and buggies and wheels and lids and everything just for recycling. He probably can't do that. I don't know if he can or he can't do it, but it's gonna add to the cost. I'm not paying more for a thing with lids on it. And you're gonna waste time going out to bid, or going out and surveying the public on how they want their trash picked up?
We've had also the residents complaining about, you know, the recycling blowing around, so the carts would, the lids would take care of that as well.
It's trash pickup and recycling, and however the vendor offers recycling is recycling. If they wanna go buy some other thing, let them buy some other thing.
And what
But you're
makes you
making a
think-
big deal about
What
this.
makes you think that, Jerry?
What?
That the vendor decides how they do it? What makes you
Because
think
that's what any vendor should decide. We want it as cheap as possible. That's the key.
No.
Pick it up as cheap as possible.
No, you said the vendor can decide how they're gonna.
In his bid quote, somebody, whoever it is gonna offer, this is how Republic does it, this is how Waste Management does it, this is how he does it, this is how Ohio
Not the way
Valley
it
does
works.
it.
It's not the way it works.
No, it's not the way you want it to work. You're gonna extend this further. You guys have a contract that's expired right now. There's no provision in it. He's right, to
Okay,
extend
Jerry,
it. You can't extend it. You're offering another contract without going to bid.
Do you want it done right, or do you want it done half?
What is done right? I want my garbage picked up and I want my recycling done, or most people want their recycling done. And I want it as cheap as possible. That's right.
And I
It's as
guess,
simple as that.
I guess, Kevin, I want it to be done legal. That's the
Yeah.
biggest issue here, that I don't know that this is, gonna pass the test when it comes to.
And that's fine, and you are mistaken about
Well, the bid package we
the
had,
bidders
John, was not
all put
acceptable.
their different, you know, bid according to different
What
ways.
was that?
You're incorrect. The city has to specify the way that it is, and.
Pick up the trash. Pretty simple.
Hi, I'm Rachel Ruffer with WM. I came because of the agenda item, and I just want to say, I know I had emailed you all before, but we certainly are able to pick up recycling. I know that was a problem that was brought up at the last meeting. We have a state-of-the-art recycling facility in Cleveland, and we can take the recycling there. It's not an issue.
How do you pick up recycling through Waste Management?
With a truck and an arm picks it up.
Okay, they're talking about wheeled bins and carts for everybody's house to wheel
Yeah,
it
we
out
have
to
them
their,
all, yes.
you have the bins
Yes.
too?
And
Okay,
we
is that an
provide them.
additional cost?
Jerry, this is not a,
Well, comment, we do get down.
yes.
We should be able to ask her.
This is not a public to public, it's public to council, it's not back and forth.
Can you ask her?
I can ask her.
Okay.
Oh, Rachel, your last name?
Ruffer, R-U-F-F-E-R. I
Thank
signed in.
Thank you.
So, what, the whole thing about the carts, your company has carts that, for recycling that,
Yeah,
okay.
we have recycling carts, they have a yellow lid so that we are able to differentiate what's what.
So, can I clarify something? We keep talking about carts. It's a garbage can with wheels, correct?
Yes.
Okay. I just wanna make, it's not like we have like these carts and garbage, it's just a garbage can with wheels and the lid. So
I agree
But-
with Lynn, like you have now, but it's
Usually a
Sometimes
different
it's all
color, or
colored.
say recycling on the other
Yeah.
side.
Kevin, can you ask her if it's more charged since I can't ask her?
Okay.
No, they can bid it later.
To incorporate, that is your recycling, you don't have multiple levels of recycling, it's, you get a can. Okay, because right now we have totes,
Mhm.
okay, so,
Yeah, the truck picks it up and dumps it in and.
is that a, go ahead.
I was just gonna say, based on what Jerry's saying, the city determines what they want in the bid.
That's
Yeah.
correct.
Okay. It does, I
Yeah.
mean, it doesn't matter what everybody provides. The
That's
city's gonna say, we want recycling, we don't want recycling. We want you guys to supply the garbage cans, we don't want you to supply the garbage cans. We want you to pick up bulk items once a week, we want you to bring in bulk items. That's what goes in the big bid package, and that's what
Not
the
just
the
pick up my
haulers are
stuff
gonna decide.
wherever.
They're not gonna tell us what to do, we're telling them what we want, and then they're gonna bid on it.
So Kathy, may I?
Can,
Kathy, what about the people that don't want their can or don't want their recycling bin? Do you not pick it up then?
So, you're saying if I don't wanna use, okay, we have Republic Services right now. You could say, you can still use your own bag or can.
Yep.
You can say, we're gonna use our existing totes or whatever.
But
Well, I don't know.
recycling
Would they
is
do
included
that?
in the,
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean,
And
that's,
that, and
if
that's
we
all
want that,
in the,
then
that's
that's
all
what they're
in the, that's all detailed out in the spec, not
Yeah.
just pick up my garbage.
Right.
Well, the bid package goes out, the bid package is created. The vendors have to bid on the bid package. Then the bid package has to be reviewed, and then whatever vendor is awarded the contract, then that's the information that gets disseminated to, this is the contract, and this is how it is going to work over the next 12 months, or 24 months, or whatever the duration
That's
is.
correct.
That's how, just as an example, we have our garbage in the city picked up on a certain day, or a couple certain days.
Correct.
Other cities where all the residents can choose their own refuse, they have garbage out every day of the week.
Correct.
So, by the bid package system, they're able to streamline and not have those kind of nuisances. And then the vendors put it on the bid package, and then it gets reviewed, and then it'd be awarded.
What I didn't like about this bid package was it specifically referenced a size of containers. And it's like, that's not fair to put a limitation or a restriction on the size of the container that the vendor is gonna supply. I didn't like that. So, that's why I was not in favor of the bid package as it was designed, is it spelled out exactly dimensions of the containers, and I thought that was a little,
Kevin, when did you get that?
a couple days ago.
The bid package? You guys all had it a couple days ago?
okay,
Saturday or
Rita
Sunday?
Dodd, 242 Feller Street, and once again, my question did not get answered. Could somebody please ask the nice lady in red and the nice gentleman down at the end, the tall guy, is it extra for the recycling, the trash cans on wheels?
Am I allowed to just answer?
I don't think that's a question
No,
for them.
no.
Depends on the bid.
Yeah,
No,
Yeah, it depends on the bid.
nobody can ask her
Well, it
that.
doesn't matter, because they're gonna bid on it, and then
and then
it
we're
will
gonna
be
review,
determined if
we're gonna
it's.
review the bid package as far as cost.
Well, from what I understand, they can't do it until almost 2027 because you're gonna extend the contract to our current one.
So you pay no more, or you pay no more now, and then we determine whether or not we wanna go with any
Nothing's
increase.
switching
Yes,
now.
nothing would switch, if,
We need to
if
see
we
first
can
if
do
we can
this.
even do this.
Okay,
We have to talk to the law director, and he's sick, so.
yeah.
We'll have to talk to him.
We
You
are,
say for the whole
we
meeting,
are,
I'll
we
just ask you
are
after the
looking
meeting,
at
for
trying to
crying
keep
out
the cost
loud.
down. We wanna keep the cost down,
Let's move on to the next agenda item.
okay?
Sorry, our mayor messed
Nobody,
up.
nobody, there's no contract awarded or no change in services pending Patrick is paid. All right, resolution R-54-25, a resolution authorizing the city of Portland's participating in the PFAS Forever Chemicals Federal Multi-District Litigation to pursue polluter-funded cost recovery. This is submitted by the mayor. May I have a motion, please?
So moved.
Second.
This will be covered, will be handled by the law director. He was contacted by somebody within the state of Ohio about this federal litigation. So it's no cost to us, they're gonna test our water, tell us if we have any PFAS, which we already did preliminary, testing and didn't find any. But again, it's at no cost. Should they find something, then we can be part of the, litigation. Any other questions?
Very well, have a roll call.
Sid McLean,
Yes.
Don Moore,
Yes.
John Mercury,
Yes.
Scott Rowley,
Yes.
Jim Bradley,
Yes.
Kathy Fleischer. Yes. Kevin Pyros.
Yes. Okay, next is ordinance O-71-25, an ordinance to extend project funding for a third and final change order for the West Main Street water line replacement project with TK Excavating. This is an emergency submitted by the mayor. May I have a motion, please?
So moved.
Second.
May I have a motion
Go ahead.
on the
I'm sorry.
emergency, please?
So moved. Second.
Okay. Crystal Moore is here graciously from GPD. If you have any questions, you can, if council has any questions, you can direct them to Chris.
So I do have a couple of questions. And I didn't get this information till a while, a day or so ago, so there's a lot here, but I am confused of why it's over the $30,000 maximum. Because change order number 2, well, here's what I'm seeing. We had a change order number 1 that reduced quantities. And then we had a change order number 2 that said the cost would not exceed
30,000.
$956,457, max not to exceed, for change order number 2, which I assume was being done under force account type work. Because it couldn't be properly negotiated because the work was probably unknown at the time.
Correct.
So you got to the 956, but then change order number 3 added in, the change order number 3 work is actually less than the 30,000. But then we added back in the items that were deleted in change order number 1, which takes it over $30,000 to $37,595. Am I tracking correctly?
Kind of. So what we did is we processed change order 2 ahead of the work. So that was for the 2 cut and caps to eliminate water main, the old water main at the east and west ends of the project. Should have been simple. So that was in there, that was that $30,000. I wanted to get that in front of you. That way we kind of had that negotiated price. Change order number 3 is a combination of final quantity adjustments, that work, and some other stuff we did as well. So that's why you see the deletion of the $30,000, basically back that back out. So the change order work for the 2 cut and caps is less than the $30,000 we anticipated. However, the one at Route 5, which should have been much more difficult, was much simpler than it was, which was good. At the Napa side of things, we had some issues. So there was the stuff you see at the bottom, those CO3 numbers on there, is a bunch of basically time and material things. The line was not where it was marked multiple times. There was also a section of that line where it ties into State Route 46, that there was an unknown cross connection between that line and the other line that's still in place. So basically we cut the line off. We were removing the hydrant behind Napa. It's a little hard to explain all this in words. That hydrant, when we cut it off, should have been dead.
it was leaking water for a week. So the extras you see in here is basically the contractor's effort to locate that leak in concert with the service department. So we dug up multiple holes, ended up having to cut the line, run a camera into the old line where we found there was actually a 1-inch water tap from the line on 46 that cross-connected that line at the point we had terminated. That was probably done at some point to improve water quality, because that just dead ends down there to those couple houses. So to find that was kind of the extra work in there. That wasn't really part of that original $30,000 that was in there. And then there's some other quantity. We had to redo the asphalt, you know, the bore pit. We did that. It was a little bit bigger. Then we also had to move that over because of the water line location and finding some other stuff that was not per plan. So all the stuff we did, all the record documents really didn't show that in the proper location. When the guys were marking that out, their records in there, the equipment they used to locate that showed a little different. So we ended up digging multiple holes and doing a week's worth of work to find everything, get it all located, and get it cut off properly. Then get that service removed, kind of be back in 46 again where we didn't want to, we already kind of done some work, had to go back in there, reopen that back up and do some other things there. So if you look at what this doesn't show is the actual cut and cap work, which is part of the $30,000, is under $30,000. There's just additional work that occurred to wrap the project up that's kind of outside of that. In retrospect, your change order 2, we kind of made that seem like that was the end of the work, but that was really for those 2 operations only is what that's really for. Just those 2 things that didn't, they occurred the way we expected them to, is all the other stuff we did to get to that point.
So, that all makes sense. The thing that didn't make sense was, do you have change order number 1 handy?
Yes.
So change order number 1, bid reference number 5, the fire hydrant removed, like the bid quantity was, this really had to be small, didn't it? The bid quantity was 8. Just one example. So the bid quantity was 8, and then change order number 1 deducted 3, so we non-performed 3 of them, and that was documented in change order number 1. But then in change order number 3, bid reference number 5, the fire hydrant removed, gets added back in, and that's what's not making sense to me is, why did we ever delete it in change order number 1? And that's just one example, but that I think kind of shows why I'm questioning is like, why did we remove it in change order number 1 just to add it back in change order number 3? Like, why did we even mention it in change order number 1?
Change order number 1, where we had the original termination points, we could delete those hydrants. They weren't part of the project. When we stretched, so there was 3 hydrants within the project we left in place or didn't affect. When we changed the cut and cap locations, that
Under change order number 2.
Well, actually, under change order 2/3. We actually removed them because there was hydrants outside of it that were part of those cut and cap areas. We deaded that line, then there was hydrants we took out as part of that as well. So it worked out to be the same number both ways. It was the number, typically those numbers never match like that in items. Usually it's take away 3, maybe add 1 back in later, and there was 3 outside of there that were part of that. So it just, yes, we probably could have left that in there, not actually accounted for that in this. I thought we were going to be able to claw that money back to spend on something else, is why we took it out in that change order number 1. But then when we changed that, those final, the benefit to the cut and cap, and I don't know if we went over that real well in the beginning, that took a lot of dead line out of the system that would have just been kind of dead-ended at each end of the project. And that benefits the system by keeping that water fresher in that line in there. But then the way those hydrants worked, we ended up having to remove some of the old hydrants that were fed by that old line that now is no longer in service. So basically what we did is we went back, change order number 3 is the final point where we recounted everything and made sure what was actually performed is being represented here. So that's kind of the final rush to the project to see what was actually done and tally up everything throughout there. So yes, we should not have removed it in change order 1, we actually needed it in the end.
Okay. Only because I didn't get this stuff till a couple days ago. And first of all, Chris is a very competent engineer. I've worked with him. He does a fantastic job, so I'm not questioning any of that. But I would like to, if it's not a problem, and I guess I'm asking, is it a problem if we don't approve this as an emergency and approve it as an emergency at our next meeting? Only so that I can take like another look at this to kind of digest what you are explaining to me.
We need to close the project down.
We need to close the project out, ARC, DOD, OPWC, the funding for OPWC, the deadline is the 19th
Of January.
of December.
Of December.
So tomorrow, I will be, getting, if it's approved, I will be doing the final pay, and then I will be sending off to DOD, ARC, and OPWC.
And I think part of that is your OPWC money's old,
Mhm.
because to line it up with the other, it stretched a little long, so you're a little bit, normally we try to use OPWC money within the year, so you have the July to July. This is, we actually got them to hold this over and extend it for this one, because it had to line back up with that ARC monies and other stuff there. It was a little bit, they're all in different cycles, so they all kind of caught up, so that's where I think that we're a little bit at the end of the rope with that to a certain degree.
I want to say OPWC was from 2024 maybe?
I think you're right.
I think it was 2024
Because your
and,
pay job was the current round.
correct.
Correct.
And we received notice that I have to close out OPWC by the 19th. December 19th is the deadline, or we will not receive the rest of the money.
Makes you feel any better, John? We're $30,000 under on our resurfacing this year.
True.
Now, I think one thing in your overall, I went back and kind of looked at the overall projects talked about. There are things that were added to the job that you added benefits, so whereas you have 3 extra 12-inch valves, so that's $16,000 in extra valving that was added. The service guys were out there, felt there were some other valves that were missed in the original design, so we put those in there. The sidewalk, we always have a little more sidewalk, just for instance, you got a lot of brand new sidewalk that wasn't part of that, that's $14,000. And then those services we did at the end weren't part of the original scope of the work, so you got a little more benefit, which Patty was able to kind of take into account. We did our final reporting for that, but that's, $23,000 by itself. So you're over, but you're really not over, because we actually were able to do a little more to kind of clean some other stuff up throughout the whole project area. And in that valving, what it does is it allows those, it's really as you go through downtown to be able to isolate some of the side streets. So if there's a break on the old line, we can isolate certain spots and be able to backfeed, so you'll have less people out of service down there. Like before, when it was a split line, something goes wrong, this is all out, we have to shut it down there to fix whatever's there. Now you'll be able to kind of, the old lines that aren't on Main Street, we'll be able to isolate them out a little differently. That'll help when you have some issues outside there to be able to shut things off and affect less people.
And there's nothing from an errors and omissions standpoint from the design consultant on any of this, it's just the nature of water line work.
Yeah, this is, a lot of the stuff in the end was, you have 4 sets of records, you have a dual line, things have changed over the last 50 years so many times, they don't know where they're at, so your record drawings aren't quite complete. When we're trying to locate that line, it has breaks, has different things in there, so it doesn't let the conduit go through there, so I'm trying to mark it out, it's hard to find. And then that random service line, I don't understand. I know why it's there, I understand the theory behind it, I don't know why you would ever do it that way. So that, you would never typically just tap, there was a cap at the end of the line that had a tap into it that ran to the other line on 46. So they did that because it allows that dead end line to have a little better circulation as that pressure goes up and down. I wouldn't do it that way, wouldn't recommend it done that way. But that just took a while to find, because now we're basically digging up that line, trying to figure out where there was a leak or what's going on with it, where there should be no water.
That was between Napa and the Gessner house right there, wasn't it?
Yeah, kind of that, if you go from, there was a hydrant back to the mill that's in the back of it, that was the hydrant that was leaking, which should have been dead years ago anyhow, and was still active, so. I think it probably fed the old mill that was back there at one point.
You know how old those old water lines were?
50s.
Okay. And what we did, we put a new one in and replaced 2 smaller ones, right?
2 parallel lines kind of circulating inside that were undersized anyhow, so now you have one main that runs through there. Everything's now, all those services, that whole section have been transferred over to the new main, and all the side streets are tied in, so everything that's within Main, within that kind of a patched area, is all brand new.
So I guess, based on Chris's explanation, his reputation, and the fact that he is certifying it as a professional engineer, I'm okay with it. I would have rather had more time to review this, but if we're up against a deadline and the explanation makes sense, I would have liked to have been able to more thoroughly confirm it, but I'm okay with it. At least from my point.
And we have full set of red line drawings for the contractor too. We're gonna try to figure out how to integrate that in your system, so that stuff shows back up.
I was gonna ask.
Now that I have access, we're good.
Oh, wow, good, excellent.
Allegedly, I still have pretty access.
Well done, both of you.
Thank
Thank
you,
you.
John, for your engineering expertise on that. Any other questions? Rhonda, can I have a roll call on the emergency first?
John Kerry,
Yes?
Scott Riley,
Yes.
Jim Bradley,
Yes.
Kathy Fleischer.
Yes.
Dick McLean,
Yes.
Don Moore,
Yes.
Kevin Pyro.
Yes, and now a roll call on the ordinance, please.
Don Moore,
Yes.
John Kerry,
Yes?
Scott Riley,
Yes.
Jim Bradley,
Yes.
Kathy Fleischer.
Yes.
Dick McLean,
Yes.
Kevin Pyro.
Yes. Next is ordinance O-72-25, an ordinance amending annual appropriation ordinance O-70-25 for the city of Portland, county of Trumbull, state of Ohio, for fiscal year ending on the 31st day of December 2025. This is an emergency submitted by the finance director. May I have a motion, please?
So moved.
Second.
May I have a motion on the emergency, please?
So moved. Second.
This is the year-end appropriations, and it also ties in with all the projects, because I don't like to do appropriations on the projects that are just in and out, until I know we're closing the project and we're gonna receive all the money. If we don't receive all the money, then I have to reduce all the appropriations. So therefore, it's the year-end one, with everything.
Any questions? Rhonda, can I roll call on the emergency, please?
Jim Bradley,
Yes.
Kathy Fleischer.
Yes.
Dick McLean,
Yes.
Don Moore,
Yes.
John Kerry,
Yes?
Scott Riley,
Yes.
Kevin Pyro.
Yes, and now on the ordinance, please.
Scott Riley,
Yes.
Jim Bradley,
Yes.
Kathy Fleischer.
Yes.
Dick McLean,
Yes.
Don Moore,
Yes.
John Kerry,
Yes.
Kevin Pyro.
Yes. Okay, ordinance O-73-25, an ordinance providing for the council of the city of Portland, Ohio, to appropriate funds for the operation of the various funds of the city of Portland, Ohio, and its political subdivisions for 2026. This is an emergency submitted by the finance director. May I have a motion, please?
So moved.
Second.
May I have a motion on the emergency, please?
So moved. Second.
Once again, this is part of our year end. This is just temporary appropriations, so we can function the first 3 months. We'll start having our budget meetings, and then 2026, we'll have the permanent appropriations.
Okay, any questions? Rhonda, roll call on the emergency, please.
Dick McLean,
Yes.
Don Moore,
Yes.
John Kerry,
Yes?
Scott Riley,
Yes.
Jim Bradley,
Yes.
Kathy Fleischer.
Yes.
Kevin Pyro.
Yes, and a roll call on the ordinance, please.
Kathy Fleischer.
Yes.
Dick McLean.
Yes.
Don Moore,
Yes.
John Kerry.
Yes.
Scott Riley,
Yes.
Jim Bradley,
Yes.
Kevin Pyro.
Yes. Okay, that concludes our business. We're gonna move on to our reports. Finance Department, Patty.
Once again, we're gearing up to close up the year. We're extremely busy closing it up. You will see in January, for those that are coming on, you will see the bills that we paid after tonight's meeting. So you still be abreast of all those bills that were paid after tonight's meeting that didn't make the scheduled bills. Terry and I did go to some year-end training a couple weeks ago, which was, we go every couple years. It was extremely helpful because of the overtime and taxes. So we learned a little bit about what's not taxed on overtime. It was very helpful. That's all I have to report, and I'd be happy to answer any questions.
Any questions? All right, thanks to you and Terry as well. Police Department. Report.
I want to start by giving kudos to the service department guys for the work they did on the roads this morning, to make sure school was able to remained in session this morning, there was no delays, they've done a great job making sure that that was all ready, so kudos to Chris and his crew for doing that. And then finally, I wanted to say to Councilwoman Fleischer, Councilman Moore, and Councilman McLean, it's been a pleasure working with you. I thank you for your support of the police department, over your tenure. It's much appreciated and certainly doesn't go unrecognized. So I wish you all the best, and thank you very much. Did I answer any questions anybody might have? Okay.
Thank you. Fire Department, Mr. Price.
Chief Ray went home sick today, didn't have anything to report, as he spoke with me. Happy to take any questions, and for the record, my son was not happy with the service department. Other than that, is there any questions I can answer?
Thank you very much. Thanks, Captain. Anything, on behalf of the service department?
No, but I'm just gonna do all this.
Roll right in.
Yep. I'd also like to thank Terry and Patty for all your hard work. I know this is, a more difficult year-end closing because of all the grant paperwork. Next year will be even more difficult, so I want to make sure I thank you this year. Thank you also to the service department for the excellent, job they have done on our roads. A committee consisting of Chris Gooseman, Scott Rowley, and myself interviewed 4 candidates for the labor position in the service department. I'm pleased to report all candidates are strong, and we will be hiring 2 of them. And I'd also like to thank everyone who contributed to the Angel Tree this year. The community's generosity and kindness continues to be very inspiring. I mean, it came right down to the wire, and the last day, I think we had like 13 less than people like hopped on it, so that's awesome. Okay, I have some announcements. Christmas, city offices will be closed on Wednesday, December 24th, and Thursday, the 25th. Republic Services trash and recycling will be delayed 1 day due to the holiday. New Year's Day, city offices will be closed on Thursday, January 1st. Again, the trash and recycling pickup will be delayed 1 day. East Lake Sled Hill, it's open for sledding in case anybody wants to go, but you better go before Thursday because the snow's supposed to melt. And since it is winter, I wanted to remind everyone that the clearing of the sidewalks is the responsibility of property owners. Be mindful that snow plows need to clear the streets, so don't blow the snow back onto the street. At our last meeting, the issue of volunteer liability was raised. So I just wanted to assure everyone, I apologize, I shouldn't have answered, I should have taken time and did the research. But I will let you know that there federally is a Volunteer Protection Act of 1997, Title 42, U.S. Code 14501. It's a federal law that would cover anyone in Cortland volunteering their time on behalf of the city. The language in the code specifically addresses volunteers for governmental entities, and the state of Ohio has a similar law, and so that covers just ordinary negligence. It does not cover conduct that would be considered gross or reckless negligence, which is why we require roads to be blocked, why we require police to be hired. So anybody who wants to volunteer for the city or on behalf of the city, you're covered. And then the last thing I want to say is I'd also like to thank Kathy, John, and Dick for their many years of dedicated service to this council and to our community. They've all been very hardworking and committed group, and I wish each of them the very best as they enjoy their well-earned time off. So I don't know what you're going to do with all your free time, but enjoy it. And finally, I'd like to wish all of you a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. That's all I have.
Thank you.
Any questions over there?
I have a couple of questions. I'm sorry, I'm not gonna make all 5 of these guys, but if I'll speak up. On the service department job,
Damon?
sorry, Lance Atkins, Beach Drive. On the service department job, how many openings were there?
2,
Okay. How many applicants were taken?
10.
Okay. Why did we only interview 4? Is the big question.
They were the 4 best candidates.
I'm gonna call you out on that for 1 second. One of them happens to be my neighbor's son, and I have zero, it's got nothing to do with him. How is he qualified for a candidate at 20 years old, maybe? I mean, when you haven't looked at apparently all the applications to know.
We did look at all the applications. We reviewed all 10 applications.
So a 20-year-old kid has more experience than somebody else that has, say, a CDL permit, a CDL license, anything like that.
Well, there was one person who had a CDL license who was not able to be interviewed
And
because of
what was
the,
that?
because of the new legislation that passed today.
Okay, so the kid that didn't have any of this was able to be interviewed because he's just younger and because his parents aren't, or his significant other is not on the incoming council? Is that what we're saying?
No, you're putting words in my mouth.
Okay, so what I'm gonna tell you is, this kid has not the qualifications. I can go back and pull those applications, I'll put in public records request for him. He
That's
has-
fine, he wasn't hired, they weren't
man,
hired.
Please don't cut me off. Please don't cut me off. Because you guys think that you know what you're doing with this city. Not necessarily always true. Because I know for a fact that there's other applicants that have had CDLs, whatever it might be, the experience, that nobody's really looking at. And Mayor, you can say all you want, and you can look at all you want, but I'm telling you right now, what you don't understand is, your city employees aren't out there always doing the right thing. Because if you want, and I'll be happy to share it with every councilman here, and I will be happy to print it out for every single person, the next time I come back here, your city employees are going down by the lake on lunch, picking up their girlfriends, and taking them down there. I had pictures, I had video. I'll be happy to share it with you. But you guys don't realize that. The liability that that brings upon the city is huge. So, my whole thing is, keep track of your people, and don't tell me that, oh, we picked the 4 best qualified, because right, wrong, or indifferent, there's nepotism in there somewhere. And you can say it's not all you want. How many guys over the age of 30 did you interview?
Actually, probably the 2 that we hired are over the age of 30, right?
Mr. Allen?
I don't know what their ages were.
Yeah.
Well, age,
You can't ask.
you can't, yeah, you can't use age as a hiring
Oh, but
determination.
there's guys that are, I mean, there's a 66-year-old man or a 60-year-old man that was qualified for the job. Why did he not even get an interview? He's 60 years old. He's got CDL, he's got excavation, he's got all this stuff. Why was he not interviewed? Doesn't make sense to me. And that's for the panel here. It doesn't make sense. Am I correct? You got 10 applicants. I'm not saying you got 100 applicants, you gotta go through all of them. But there's 2 positions, actually 4, but you're only replacing 2. And you're only looking at 4 people? That doesn't make any sense to me. Not at all. You could have taken the time to say, you know what? Let's just interview all 10. Because you might not know what that other person has to say. There's only so much lines on there, so many lines on the application. You don't know, I'll tell you right now, I put in for it, you don't know what I've done in the past, because you never called me.
I gotta go on record here. I don't have any applications of anyone that, filled out an application for these positions that you're talking about, Lance. The mayor formed a committee of people who took part in that. I just wanna make sure I go on record. Like, I don't have any applications of anybody.
No, I totally understand
I know,
that.
but when you said panel, I have to go on the record.
I get you.
Because someone's gonna take it and be like, oh,
Right.
this person knew, why didn't Jim say anything? No. I don't get the applications for service. Technically, I mean, council's never taken part in the interview process, ever. This is my 6th year, this is a new thing, right? I've taken part in 1 interview process, and I'm on my 6th year on council. Generally, council is not part of any interview process at all. We're not part of any hiring process other than voting for or against somebody or people that the mayor would bring to us. I just want to make sure we clarify that we don't take part in this interview process.
Jim, the only interviews that we do are to replace council, which we did with, Mr. McLean.
Correct.
Mr. Kukuri.
Patty
So
Keller.
when did all this change? I'm just trying to figure this out. When did all this change to where council started doing interviews?
The only reason that it happened was because we have no service director. Typically, they would come through the service director.
Is
So that's
Mr. Minor in
why-
charge right now?
What's that?
Is Mr. Minor in charge right now? Like, overseeing everything right now?
Yeah, he's the superintendent.
Why would he not be involved? That's my question.
Yeah.
You know, why would the superintendent not be involved? Why are we only hiring 2 instead of 4? I mean, our taxes are paying for it. Get these guys up to full staff, get them what they need, and they won't be working 18, 20 hours a day like they've been doing. You know, that only makes sense. But, I mean, to only look at to look at 4 people for, it just doesn't make sense.
I believe that, to answer your question, I believe some were skilled labor positions, and they have to go through,
We will be hiring for a skilled labor position.
and they have to go through.
Civil
Civil
service.
service.
We can only hire
So
so many
those
people.
are different.
So why does, I'm confused on this, why does general labor different from skilled service that they have to go through civil service?
That's just the way it is. That's just the way, that's the way it is. That's the way the union contract is.
So we can just pick, and no disrespect, but we can, for lack of better terms, we can just pick and choose who we want to plug in, and then the other jobs are like, you gotta kind of civil service for that. Is that
yeah.
correct?
The union contract allows for general laborers to be, hired, without civil service.
For somebody to sit here and say that they picked the 4 best applicants, I'm not saying I'm the top dog for this by any means, but there's a lot of other people out there. They're probably a lot more qualified than some of the people that you looked at. I encourage council, since we've only used 2 councilmen and, one of the guys from the service department, why not let the guys from the service department interview them? They're the ones that are working with them every day.
That's why Chris Guzman was involved. He's the assistant superintendent.
I understand that. Why wasn't Mr. Minor involved?
Because his daughter, was interested in the position.
Did she apply?
She didn't,
She did not. That's all you need to say.
yeah,
All you need to
she
say.
can't, she couldn't.
That's all. Thank you. I'll be happy to share that information with you guys too after council meeting tomorrow.
Any committee reports this evening?
Kevin, I'd like to just make mention, the MVG committee, which we had to explain a little bit about in our last meeting. We had the opportunity here recently to review another business facade grant application. Came to us from the Hair House, and the committee reviewed that, and it meets all the specifications for that grant, so we awarded the $2,500, which will be awarded very, very soon, if not this week, next week.
It will be.
To the Hair House. That is only I would just want to add, that's only the second one this year that we have had. The previous one came from the Animal Resource Center, which is Dr. Foster's old office between Portland Mower and Oracle Market. They also received earlier this year a $2,500 facade grant. That program carries forward because we still have $19,700 available, and I would encourage more people to take advantage of that and spruce up their facilities or renovate their facilities in any way that they see fit. The requirements and specifications are all on the website. I would refer anybody to the website to see what's entailed.
Any other committee announcements? Well, Dick, that's a good segue. There's 3 of you who will not be here in January. And, Dick, I want to thank you for 6 years of dedication. The
It was only 2, it seems.
Yeah, it seems like it seems longer, right? Right there is one of the things you've been very key part of the strategic planning committee and with the MVG group. And I thank you for everything you've done.
I enjoyed every minute of it, thank you.
Kathy, 8 years.
Yeah, doesn't seem like it, but.
Certain nights seems like longer, right?
Especially lately.
I want to thank you for 8 years.
Thank you.
It's been a pleasure. Bring a wealth of knowledge of the community, what's going on, things that we are not aware of, that You know so much about who's where and who owns what, and, it's been.
Who's related?
Yeah, it's been a tremendous, resource, and thank you for everything. Dawn, 10 years, thank you, everything, served in many committees. Last few, you've been, my Batman to Robin, appreciate everything you've done. We'll miss all three of you, we'll definitely miss you.
Well, Kevin, it's been an honor and a privilege to serve the city for 10 years. 20 years ago, I was on the school board for 8 years. Community service has always been a big part of what I've been involved in, and appreciate everything in Portland. It's been a real pleasure working with everybody, the city and council. I consider you all friends. Can't say I won't entirely miss it, but be nice to be free out, because we want to devote more time to family.
Especially on Monday nights.
Kids and grandchildren our kids don't live in the area, so we're looking to do a little more traveling, whatever. I won't have to worry about scheduling around Monday nights like I've had to in the past, so, again, thank you. To the new council members, congratulations again. You're gonna embark on quite a journey, and, I wish you well. Ron, do they still have that, Ohio Municipal League training? Yeah, I would encourage you to do that. There's a seminar usually in February on a Saturday. It'll be various places around the state, but the closest one to ours is like the east side of Cleveland. I researched it before I was appointed to council and decided I wanted to do that. Scott ended up going up with me, and very informative, so I would encourage, just, invest a Saturday. Doesn't cost you anything. You'll meet some other council people from other areas, and you'll all basically be new council people, so kind of going in the same way. But they put on good training to give you an understanding of cities and responsibilities, and, I would encourage you, all three of you. Yeah.
Kevin, I wanted to say thank you to these guys. For everyone out here, everyone listening, Dawn is a great family man. He's known my wife since she was a little girl, was at our wedding, has done so much for this community over decades and decades. I mean, he will be sorely missed. And Kathy's our resident historian and can locate anything on any website in 2 seconds. And I really enjoyed working with you and becoming better friends over the last couple of years. We'll miss you, but I know you're going to be really active. And then Dick. Dick's been sitting by my side for so many years, and we've worked on a lot of committees together, and your input has been invaluable, and I'm going to greatly miss you. Thank you guys for everything you guys have done.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you all. This may be the end of your council term, but it's not the end of our friendships, and I certainly hope that, especially Dick, I'll be riding my bike up, I'll stop, see the dog.
If I could just, I'm technically, even though it's been 5 or 6 years, I am the newest member of council, so this is the only council that I've known. So it's gonna be a little bit different, obviously, but, I'll just maybe start down there. Dick, the greatest parliamentarian, I guess is the word for it. Your grasp and knowledge of Robert Rules of Order and just how, business is supposed to be run is unbelievable. I've learned quite a bit from you, in my interactions with you, and I appreciate that. I think I'm a better councilman because of it. Dawn, I think it probably goes to your, being on the school board, but you always had this lens on fiscal responsibility. It's like each person on council, I feel like, brought something different, and that's what I felt like you always brought to council, is that lens of fiscal responsibility, and I really appreciate that as well.
Well, I've served in the finance committee all my time.
Perfect lens.
So it's been good working with Patty, it's been good, and everybody, so. Again, I've enjoyed it, I'll miss it in that regard, but I wish you all well.
And then Kathy, as kind of what Jim said, maybe it's because we sit next to each other, I don't know what it is, but I do think we are very like-minded. I have really enjoyed my time on council with you, and as everyone has said, friendship came out of it, so I appreciate that. And I very much enjoyed, co-sponsoring legislation with you to bring common sense and transparency back to government. I think that's going to go a long way, and again, I appreciate
I appreciate everybody's kind words. Like, I'm not crying because I'm upset or sad or anything like that, but, like, when people say nice things, of course I get a little teary. And then my best friend's like, she makes it worse, but anyway. Yeah, so I appreciate everybody's kind words, and it's been a true pleasure, and I've really made friends with everybody and the city employees, and I appreciate everybody and their kindness to me over the years, so thank you.
Well, once the meeting is over, is a cupcake cake, back here for those who would like to partake, so open that up to everybody. We're gonna go ahead and open it up to questions from the audience. Because there are cupcakes available, let's, try to manage it, so I'll open it up.
Nobody wants to say anything?
Like I bet.
Okay.
All right.
One cupcake, right?
Motion to adjourn?
No.
I'm sorry. See, I screwed up on the
Oh, yeah.
Your last one.
You just wanted to leave, I understand.
I'd like to move into executive session to discuss
They're gonna eat
employment
the cupcakes
personnel,
without.
inviting council, mayor, and finance director. I'll second the motion.
Roll call, please.
John Moore,
Yes.
John Vanchery,
Yes.
Scott Riley,
Yes.
Tim Bradley,
Yes.
Kathy Fleischer.
Yes.
Jason Klein.
Yes.
Kevin Powers.
Yes. Okay, we're gonna adjourn, this one should be short, so bear with us. Yeah, so bear with us for a few minutes. We'll be right back.
Is there an extra cost for, you guys? Recycling?